Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to share something that, despite its ancient origins, has the power to change your life in ways that no prescription or doctor can. We live in an age where medicine has made incredible advances, but there is something even more powerful, something that modern medicine often overlooks: the healing that comes from the divine. In a world where science, technology, and medicine dominate our understanding of health, we often forget the ancient wisdom that has stood the test of time. Wisdom that speaks to the very core of our being and offers a level of healing that goes beyond what any doctor or modern treatment can provide. We live in a time where we think of healing only in terms of the physical, taking medication, undergoing surgeries, or seeking medical intervention. But true healing, the kind that lasts, is not just about fixing what's broken in the body. It is a holistic process, touching the mind, the spirit, and the body. We cannot underestimate the power of ancient texts like the Psalms, which have provided wisdom and healing for thousands of years. These words are not just old scriptures recited in religious services. They are living, breathing words that have the potential to heal us in ways we may not fully understand. They speak directly to the human experience, offering peace, comfort, and hope when we are struggling. When you truly understand the power of these words, you begin to realize that they are not just for spiritual enlightenment, but for practical, everyday healing. Healing is a process that transcends the body. You see, the body is not separate from the mind, and the mind is not separate from the spirit. Everything is interconnected. When one part of you is sick, it affects every other part. When your heart is heavy, your body can feel it. When your spirit is weighed down with doubt or fear, your physical health can suffer. Likewise, when you experience peace, joy, and wholeness in your spirit, it will manifest in every part of your life, including your health. We are complex beings, body, mind, and spirit intertwined. To experience true healing, we must take care of all three. And this is where the Psalms, particularly Psalm 91, come in. The Psalms are not just beautiful poetry. They are prayers, affirmations, and declarations that connect us with the divine healing power that sustains us. Psalm 91 in particular is a powerful example of how the words within the Psalms can provide the kind of healing that doctors can't prescribe. Many people approach healing as if it's only about treating physical symptoms, but the truth is that emotional and spiritual wounds can have just as much impact on your health as a physical injury. Stress, fear, anxiety, and worry can take a huge toll on the body. In fact, science has shown that negative emotions can weaken the immune system and increase vulnerability to disease. That is why healing must also address the emotional and spiritual aspects of our being. Psalm 91 addresses this very need. It speaks directly to the soul, offering comfort and protection in times of trouble. The world we live in today is full of uncertainty. We face challenges at every turn: illness, financial struggles, relational issues, and more. It is easy to feel overwhelmed, anxious, and afraid. But Psalm 91 offers a different perspective. It reminds us that in the midst of fear, there is a place of safety and refuge. The psalm begins by declaring that those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High will abide under His protection. This is not just a promise of physical protection, but emotional and spiritual security as well. It speaks to our innermost fears and anxieties and offers reassurance that no matter what we face, we are not alone. God is our refuge and fortress, and in Him we find peace. This is the kind of healing that doctors can't offer, a healing that goes beyond the physical. It is a deep, transformative healing that comes from a place of faith and trust in the divine. You see, the words of Psalm 91 are not just to be read when you are sick or in trouble. They are meant to be lived. When you make Psalm 91 a part of your daily life, it changes the way you see yourself and the world around you. It becomes a foundation on which you can build your life, knowing that you are always under the protective care of God. The healing that Psalm 91 offers is not only about physical protection, it is also about emotional well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual wholeness. When we internalize these words, when we speak them with faith, they have the power to transform our circumstances and our health. The psalm reminds us that no matter what dangers may come our way, whether they are physical, emotional, or spiritual, we are safe in the presence of God. We do not have to live in fear because He is with us. True healing comes when we recognize that we are more than just bodies in need of repair. We are souls in need of restoration, minds in need of peace, and hearts in need of comfort. The Psalm speaks to all these needs, offering a divine prescription for health that doctors cannot prescribe. A prescription that brings healing to the entire person. And that, my friends, is the kind of healing that lasts. As we embrace the healing power of Psalm 91, we begin to understand that the wisdom and promises contained within it are not just for times of illness or crisis, but for daily living. When we make these words a part of our daily routine, we align ourselves with the divine presence that heals, protects, and sustains us. This is not a healing that comes and goes. It is a healing that transforms us from the inside out, allowing us to experience true wholeness in every area of our lives. In our modern world, we often view healing strictly through the lens of medicine. When we feel ill or experience physical pain, the first thing that comes to mind is seeking medical help, visiting a doctor, taking medication, undergoing treatments, or perhaps a surgery. And while these steps are undoubtedly essential and valuable, they only address one aspect of healing, the physical. What many fail to recognize is that true healing is far more than just the absence of symptoms or the treatment of a disease. It is a holistic process that encompasses not only the body, but also the mind, the emotions, and most importantly, the spirit. The misconception that healing can only be found in hospitals and through medical professionals is a limiting belief. While doctors and medical professionals are crucial in addressing our physical health, their training and expertise are confined to the body's biological needs and disorders. They are not equipped to address the emotional or spiritual dimensions of illness. Yet, these very dimensions can have a profound impact on our physical health and well-being. Many diseases today, especially chronic conditions, can be exacerbated by emotional stress, anxiety, depression, and a lack of inner peace. Medical treatments may address the physical symptoms, but they often do little to address the root causes, those hidden emotional or spiritual wounds. This is where the deeper spiritual dimension of healing comes in. It is a healing that transcends the physical body and reaches into the soul. This kind of healing cannot be measured by medical instruments, nor can it be prescribed in a bottle. It is not something that a doctor can inject into you. It is a healing that comes from faith, connection to the divine, and the power of the Spirit. One of the fundamental truths that many have forgotten is that the body, mind, and spirit are not isolated from one another. They are deeply interconnected. A person who is suffering spiritually or emotionally is likely to experience physical symptoms of their distress, whether it's fatigue, headaches, digestive problems, or even more severe conditions. The body reacts to the mental and emotional states we experience. Because we are more than just physical beings. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And our healing must address all facets of our existence. Doctors cannot prescribe a peace of mind, nor can they administer the kind of emotional comfort that only a deep spiritual connection can provide. No matter how advanced modern medicine becomes, it cannot heal a broken heart, soothe an anxious mind, or restore the spirit that feels lost or disconnected. Yet this is where the divine, through faith, prayer, and spiritual healing, can step in. The healing I am speaking of goes beyond the body. It is healing of the soul, and it can lead to a transformation that goes much deeper than a physical recovery. Faith plays a crucial role in this. When we trust in a higher power, in the divine, and in our spiritual well-being, it activates a force that no medical treatment can replicate. This is a force that brings peace, comfort, and restoration to the whole person. It allows us to face sickness, loss, and trials with hope, knowing that there is a divine presence at work, guiding us toward healing that goes beyond what we can see or touch. Faith-based healing does not disregard medicine or healthcare. It enhances it. When someone is physically sick, they may need medical attention, but they also need emotional and spiritual support. A person who believes in the power of divine healing can approach their physical condition with a sense of peace and trust, which can, in turn, positively influence their physical recovery. There is growing research today that shows how the mind and spirit influence physical health, how positive thinking, Belief in recovery and spiritual practices like prayer and meditation can significantly improve healing outcomes. This is the power of spiritual healing at work. True healing is about the restoration of the whole person. It is about healing not just the body but the mind and spirit. While medicine can help us with the physical aspects, there is a deeper healing that comes from our connection with the divine. The doctors may give us medicine to manage our symptoms, but only faith can help us manage our fear and anxiety. They can give us treatment for illness, but only spiritual healing can bring us peace in the midst of suffering. So, while we must be grateful for the progress of modern medicine, we must also recognize that there is a type of healing that goes beyond what doctors are trained to provide. This healing is deeply rooted in our faith, our spiritual practices, and our connection to the divine. It is a healing that transcends the physical, addresses the emotional, and brings peace to the soul. It is a holistic kind of healing that can change the course of our lives, even in the most challenging of circumstances. And it is available to each and every one of us if we are willing to open ourselves to the divine and the healing power that comes through faith. Words are not just sounds or symbols strung together to convey meaning. They are powerful forces, tools of creation, destruction, and most importantly, healing. From the beginning of time, words have been used to shape reality, to inspire change, and to communicate the deepest truths of the human experience. Think about it. We speak words of encouragement, and they uplift those around us. We speak words of negativity, and they can tear down a person's. Our words have the ability to shape our emotions, our perceptions, and even our physical well-being. The power of words is a concept that goes beyond mere linguistic understanding. Words carry energy. They carry vibrations that can resonate with the deepest parts of our being, touching our hearts and our spirits. That's why when we say something like, "You are healed," or "You are whole," it's not just a superficial statement. It carries the potential to transform someone's health, mindset, and emotional state. Similarly, negative words, when spoken in anger or despair, can create an environment of toxicity and dis-ease. Now consider the Psalms. These sacred scriptures are not merely poetic expressions of faith. They are declarations. They are powerful affirmations that carry divine energy. When we read them, we are not just admiring beautiful words on a page. We are participating in a sacred dialogue, affirming the truths about who God is and what He has promised for our lives. These words are living, breathing declarations that release divine power into our lives, particularly in times of trouble, fear, and illness. Take Psalm 91, for example. These words are not just meant to be read passively. They are declarations of protection, peace, and divine healing. Every line is an affirmation of God's promises. The more we speak these words, the more we internalize their healing power. This is why many people turn to the Psalms during difficult times. They understand that these words are more than just comforting thoughts. They are divine promises wrapped in language that has the power to heal. When we speak them with faith, we tap into that power and invite healing into our lives, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Consider the opening verses of Psalm 91. "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him will I trust." These are not just beautiful sentiments, they are affirmations of God's protective power. "I will say" is a declaration of belief, a proclamation of trust in the Almighty. These words remind us that healing and protection are not just external actions. They begin with the power of our words and our faith in the divine. Speaking these words aloud allows them to take root in our hearts, and that's where true transformation begins. It's not just about reciting these words mindlessly, it's about understanding the power they hold. There's a reason people throughout history have turned to Psalms for comfort. They recognize the divine force embedded within each verse. Each line is infused with life-giving energy, designed to protect, heal, and uplift. It's as if these words were crafted by a higher power, not just for spiritual edification, but for practical, everyday application in our lives. Words like "He is my refuge" and "I will trust in Him" are not just words of comfort. They are powerful declarations of faith that shift the atmosphere. They speak directly to the heart of fear, anxiety, and doubt, replacing them with peace, protection, and confidence. When you speak words like these over your life, they align your heart with God's promises. They remind you that you are not alone, and that no matter the challenges you face, healing is available to you through faith and divine intervention. This is the healing power of words. Words that are more than just poetry. They are divine truths that have the ability to shift our circumstances, to bring light into the darkest moments, and to restore the brokenness we often experience. When we declare the words of the Psalms over our lives, we invite healing into every area: our health, our relationships, our emotional well-being, and our spirit. These words do not just comfort us, they change us. They realign our lives with the truth of who God is and the healing He has promised. In times of illness, pain, or uncertainty, many of us turn to these sacred verses as a way to hold on to hope. They are more than just passive readings. They are powerful healing declarations that carry divine life. And when spoken with conviction and faith, they have the ability to transform not only our circumstances, but our very being. So, when you open the Psalms, don't just read the words. Speak them, believe them. Let them become part of your daily language. For in those words lies the divine healing power that has the potential to bring restoration, peace, and wholeness to your life. Psalm 91 is often referred to as the healing psalm because of its powerful divine promises of protection, peace, and restoration. It is a psalm that speaks directly to the heart of anyone facing sickness, fear, or adversity. When you read through Psalm 91, you quickly realize that it's more than just a beautiful piece of poetry. It is a divine prescription, a powerful declaration of God's protection, provision, and healing power. It is a psalm meant to be declared over our lives in times of trouble, reminding us that we are not alone, no matter what circumstances we face. The opening verse of Psalm 91 immediately sets the tone for its message of protection and refuge. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. This is not just a casual suggestion, it is a declaration of God's safety. The secret place speaks to a place of intimate connection with the divine, a place of refuge and security that is found in God's presence. It promises that those who take refuge in Him, who seek His presence, will find a shelter under His protection. This is not just an external protection, it's a spiritual and emotional shield that offers comfort, peace, and restoration. The psalm continues with powerful declarations of safety, declaring that no evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. Psalm 91:10. This is a divine promise that speaks directly to the fear that many people face, especially in times of illness or danger. It assures us that no matter the disease, no matter the danger, God's protection is greater. For those struggling with sickness, these words can be a balm to the soul, a reminder that God's protection surrounds you and that no sickness can overtake you without His permission. But Psalm 91 does more than just promise protection. It offers peace in the midst of uncertainty. In a world filled with chaos, fear, and uncertainty, Psalm 91 reminds us that we are secure in God's presence. When we are overwhelmed with anxiety or fear, whether from sickness, relational struggles, or financial hardship, this psalm provides a reminder that there is a place of safety and peace to which we can retreat. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. Psalm 91 verse 4. This imagery of God as a bird sheltering its young is a powerful one. It evokes feelings of tenderness, safety, and comfort. God's protective love covers us like a warm, safe embrace. Psalm 91 goes on to describe how God's angels are sent to protect and guard us. It says, "For He shall give His angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways." Psalm 91 verse 11. This is an important aspect of healing that is often overlooked. The spiritual protection we receive from God's divine intervention. When we are in the midst of sickness or facing any form of adversity, we may not see the forces at work around us, but Psalm 91 assures us that God is actively protecting us. He sends His angels to watch over us, to guard us from harm, and to deliver us from danger. This divine protection is a vital aspect of healing because it allows us to rest in the assurance that we are never alone in our struggles. One of the most profound aspects of Psalm 91 is how it speaks directly to the fears that arise in the face of sickness and adversity. It offers an assurance that we are not at the mercy of circumstances or disease. It says, "You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness." Psalm 91 verse 5. In times of uncertainty, whether it's due to physical illness, personal loss, or global crises, this psalm offers an antidote to fear. It reminds us that no matter what we face, we do not have to fear. God's presence is our shield and our fortress. We can find peace knowing that His protection surrounds us at all times. Psalm 91 continues to affirm God's healing power when it states, "With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation." Psalm 91 verse 16. This promise speaks to the fullness of life that God desires for us, a life of wholeness, restoration, and peace. God's intention is not for us to live in fear or sickness, but to walk in divine health, protection, and peace. The psalm assures us that God has a plan for our well-being, and He will show us His salvation in every area of our lives, whether that means physical healing, emotional restoration, or spiritual renewal. What makes Psalm 91 such a profound healing psalm is its ability to address the fears and uncertainties that come with illness and adversity. It offers a divine remedy for the fear that so often accompanies sickness, reminding us that healing comes not only through medical intervention, but also through our trust in God's protection and His ability to deliver us from harm. When we declare the promises of Psalm 91 over our lives, we are aligning ourselves with the divine prescription for healing that has been given to us. We are reminding ourselves that we are under the shadow of the Almighty, safe in His refuge, and protected by His angels. Psalm 91 is more than just comforting words. It is a declaration of divine protection, healing, and peace. It speaks to the mind, body, and spirit, offering hope and assurance in times of trouble. It is a reminder that no matter what we face, we are not alone. God's healing power is with us, and through His protection and faithfulness, we can experience restoration and peace in the midst of life's challenges. So, when sickness or adversity strikes, turn to Psalm 91. It is the divine prescription for healing that offers the peace, protection, and assurance you need in the midst of uncertainty. Faith plays a crucial and irreplaceable role in healing that goes far beyond what conventional medicine can offer. While medicine addresses the physical symptoms and provides treatments to manage and restore health, it often overlooks the deeper dimensions of healing, the emotional, spiritual, and mental aspects that significantly impact our overall well-being. True healing is not just about the body. It involves aligning the body, mind, and spirit in harmony with a higher power, embracing divine healing, and trusting that faith will activate a force greater than what we can see or understand. In times of sickness, fear, or adversity, many people turn to medicine for relief and guidance, and this is important. However, healing is not just a mechanical process of fixing what is broken in the body. It is a holistic process of restoration, and at the heart of this restoration is faith. Faith is the cornerstone of healing. It is the belief that something greater than ourselves is at work in our lives, guiding and restoring us. Faith allows us to believe that healing is possible, even when the situation seems dire. It helps us to trust that no matter the diagnosis, the divine presence is working in the unseen to bring about our healing. Faith transcends the physical realm because it connects us to something beyond our understanding, something spiritual and eternal. When we have faith, we are not limited to just what can be seen or measured by medical tests. We are tapping into the divine realm where miracles can occur and healing can happen in ways that defy human logic. Faith is the conduit through which the power of God can flow into our lives. It is through faith that we open ourselves up to the divine healing that goes beyond mere physical restoration. Psalm 91 is a perfect example of how faith and healing are intimately connected. This psalm is filled with promises of divine protection, peace, and restoration, but those promises are activated through faith. The opening verse alone says, He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. To dwell in the secret place of God is an act of faith. It is an intentional decision to seek His presence and trust in His protection and provision. The words in this psalm are not simply nice thoughts to comfort us. They are affirmations that align us with the divine, and it is our faith in those promises that brings them to life in our experience. When we read Psalm 91 and declare its truths over our lives, we are not just reciting words. We are engaging in an act of faith, choosing to trust that God's word is true and that His promises apply to us. This is where healing begins. Healing happens when we align ourselves spiritually with the divine, when we trust in the promises found in God's word, and when we speak those promises out loud. Faith turns words into action and brings them to life in our hearts and in our bodies. It is important to understand that faith in the context of healing is not about denial. It is not about pretending that sickness or suffering does not exist. Faith acknowledges the reality of illness or adversity, but chooses to trust that God has the power to bring healing in the midst of it. It is the belief that God's power is greater than any disease or obstacle, and that through Him we can experience restoration and wholeness. Faith shifts our focus from the problem to the solution, shifting our perspective from what is wrong to what is possible through God's healing power. This is why the power of faith is so transformative. Faith doesn't just help us cope with sickness or adversity, it has the ability to change our entire outlook on life. When we place our trust in God, we no longer see ourselves as helpless victims of circumstances. We see ourselves as empowered by a divine presence that can heal and restore. Faith creates an environment for healing to take place. It opens the door for God's power to work in our lives and allows us to experience peace in the midst of trials. The role of faith in healing is also evident in the way it affects our mental and emotional state. When we have faith, we cultivate a mindset of peace, hope, and trust. These positive emotions can significantly impact our physical health. Numerous studies have shown that people who maintain a positive outlook and trust in their ability to heal tend to have better outcomes in health and recovery. Faith provides a sense of hope and security, which can reduce stress and anxiety, two major contributors to many physical ailments. The psalmist in Psalm 91 declares, "You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day." Psalm 91:5. This is a declaration of faith, choosing not to be afraid in the face of danger or sickness. When we practice faith, we begin to replace fear with trust. We replace worry with confidence in God's ability to heal, protect, and restore. This shift in mindset has a profound impact on our emotional and physical well-being. In addition to the mental and emotional benefits of faith, there is also a deep spiritual healing that takes place. Faith connects us to the divine, allowing us to experience spiritual wholeness. Many times, emotional wounds or spiritual brokenness are at the root of physical illness. Faith provides the pathway to healing those deep, often hidden wounds. As we lean on God and trust in His promises, we open ourselves up to His healing touch in every area of our lives, body, mind, and spirit. Psalm 91 is not just a beautiful scripture to be read in times of trouble. It is a divine prescription for daily living. It's a roadmap for living under God's protection, experiencing His peace, and walking in divine health. However, the power of this psalm is unlocked not simply by reading it, but by living it, speaking it, and believing it every single day. If we truly want to experience the healing power of God, we must allow these words to become part of our daily routine, turning them into a lifestyle that shapes our hearts, minds, and bodies. Imagine starting each day by declaring the promises of Psalm 91 over your life. When you wake up, speak these words aloud. "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." As you do, you are aligning yourself with divine protection. You are declaring that your day will be covered by God's presence, His protection, and His peace. By making this declaration part of your morning routine, you begin each day grounded in faith, prepared to face whatever challenges come your way with the assurance that you are not alone. But living in the healing power of Psalm 91 doesn't just stop with a morning declaration. It's about making these words an integral part of your mindset and lifestyle. When fear or sickness tries to take hold of your mind, remind yourself of the promises in Psalm 91. Speak it again. No evil shall befall me, nor shall any plague come near my dwelling. In moments of uncertainty or when you feel overwhelmed, take a moment to stop and declare, I am covered under the wings of the Almighty. As you speak these words with conviction, you are not only reinforcing your faith, but creating an atmosphere of peace and healing around you. What we speak has the power to shape our reality. In moments of distress, it's easy to give in to negative thoughts and fear. But the Word of God is living and active. When we speak the truth of Psalm 91, we activate that divine protection and healing in our lives. It's not about denying reality. It's about choosing to align ourselves with the truth of God's Word, knowing that His promises are greater than any situation we face. The words we declare in faith have the power to shift our perspective, to replace fear with peace, and to bring healing into our physical bodies. Living in the healing power of Psalm 91 also requires a commitment to cultivate a deep personal relationship with God. The psalm begins by saying, He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. This secret place is a place of intimate connection with God. It's where we find refuge, peace, and strength. To truly live in the healing power of this psalm, we must intentionally seek God's presence each day. This could be through prayer, meditation, worship, or simply being still and listening for His voice. As we spend time in the presence of God, we align our hearts with His promises, and His healing power can flow freely into our lives. As you adopt Psalm 91 as part of your daily routine, you'll begin to see a transformation in your health, peace of mind, and emotional well-being. The more you speak these powerful words and believe in them, the more you will experience their effect. Psalm 91 is not just a declaration for difficult times. It's a lifestyle. It's a constant reminder that we are not alone, that we are always under God's protection, and that His healing power is at work in every area of our lives. When we make Psalm 91 a part of our everyday life, we begin to live in the reality of its promises. It's no longer something we turn to only in moments of crisis, but a daily affirmation that shapes our thoughts, actions, and experiences. We move from simply reading the words to embodying them. We walk in the confidence that God is our refuge, our fortress, and our healer. And we live with peace, knowing that no matter what comes our way, His healing power is more than sufficient. So, I encourage you today, don't just read Psalm 91 when you feel anxious, afraid, or sick. Don't wait for a crisis to come before you declare these words over your life. Begin now to speak them, believe them, and live them. Let them shape your day, your thoughts, and your actions. Make Psalm 91 a part of your daily routine and watch as God's healing power begins to transform not just your health, but your emotional well-being and your spiritual life. As you dwell in His presence, speak His promises, and trust in His word, you will experience the fullness of His healing power. And that healing will extend far beyond the physical. It will touch every part of your life, bringing you peace, strength, and wholeness in every way. As we come to the close of this powerful journey through Psalm 91, I urge you to understand that healing is not just an event. It is a process. And it begins with the transformation of your mind, spirit, and heart. Too many of us look at healing solely through the lens of physical symptoms and medical treatments. But true healing, the kind that restores and renews, transcends what medicine can offer. It is spiritual, it is mental, it is emotional, and it is divine. Psalm 91 is more than a comforting scripture. It is a divine prescription, a declaration of God's protective and healing power in your life. But here's the key. It doesn't work simply by reading it. It works when you live it, when you speak it, when you believe it. It is when you make it a part of your everyday routine, when you declare, I dwell in the secret place of the Most High, that you activate the healing power of God in your life. You must align yourself with these promises, walk in faith, and embrace the words as a lifestyle that transcends circumstances and ushers you into divine protection and peace. Remember, healing is not just a physical state. It is a wholeness that only God can bring. It is the peace that surpasses all understanding. It is the restoration of your mind and emotions. It is the alignment of your heart with the divine will. And this healing, this divine restoration, comes when you place your trust in the unshakable promises of God. So I challenge you today, not just to read Psalm 91, but to live it. Speak it over your life daily. Let its words shape your reality. Let it transform your health, your mind, and your spirit. Let it bring you peace in the midst of chaos and healing in the midst of sickness. For when you do this, you will see a transformation that only the healing power of God can bring. A transformation that no doctor, no medicine, and no circumstance can take away. Let Psalm 91 be the anchor of your faith, the shield of your protection, and the source of your healing. And in doing so, you will experience the full measure of the abundant life that God has promised you.